Hello, welcome to today's video. Now, I'm going to go over rejections. Now, I can honestly say that this is like one of the most hardest things to process and deal with as an actor. You know, you've worked so hard for your audition and your self-tape and you just don't get it. And if you're like me, I tend to overthink and question everything I've done and wonder, what could have I done differently? Why didn't I get the part? And I think it's safe to say that most auditions it's pretty normal not to hear back why you didn't get the role. But if you are lucky and you do get some feedback of why you didn't get the role, it can be really beneficial to go through it. So today I thought I'd go through some of the most common reasons why I didn't get the role from my auditions. Hope you enjoy! So first off, I either look too young or too old for the character. Now I've had this a lot throughout my 20s so far, and I'm starting to feel like it's a bit of an awkward phase in my career of castings. But what I try to think about is who would I have been playing alongside with. For example, say if I was casted for an 18-year-old, I could pull it off, but if the actual castings are of 18-year-olds and they actually do look younger than 18, then obviously I'm not going to match. And a lot of the times it literally just comes down to the fact that you look too old or too young when you would be standing next to your fellow cast members, and it just doesn't match. It's unfortunate, granted, but unfortunately that's what a lot of mine come down to. This one is the location and where I'm based. Often than not, this just comes down to the budget. As I'm sure you know, it can be really expensive to make a production, to make a film, to make a TV series. And sometimes they do have to be very specific of the boundary of who they can accept for their production. I really have had it quite a few times of they thought that obviously they could cover the travel expenses and the cost of me travelling from one place to another. But sometimes things change, you know? Maybe the funding didn't come through, who knows? But they just couldn't cover the cost of me travelling from A to B, and they chose someone who was actually more local, and it would be a lot easier for them to get them on set and easier for the production overall. This one is the simple thing of a hair colour, eye colour, or just a specific feature. It might sound a little bit off, like why does it matter that much that someone's eye colour doesn't match the script? Now this could be the key point of that role for the production. For example, it could be based on a book and they're very specific that it needs to be the exact same features and descriptions of what the character's like. It could be that you're playing an older or younger version of another character that is already casted, and for obvious reasons you will need the same eye colour because it won't match up. I know it can be frustrating that this is probably the only reason why you didn't get a part, but try not to take it to heart because you literally can't change that about yourself and you shouldn't want to. It's just not the right role for you. Now this one, that you're almost perfect. This one can get very frustrating. Now more often than not, when I've gotten this comment, they actually have given me a rejection email saying that unfortunately you just weren't right for the part, but your audition was great, la la la, lots of compliments, which is obviously amazing and I'm very grateful. But it just comes down to the fact that someone was just 100% the role and was just a little bit better than me. I know, how could they be? I'm joking, please don't take that seriously. Or am I? And when I get this one, you literally just have to shrug it off as quick as you can and reassure yourself that you've done an amazing job and they really were impressed by you. It's just someone else was just perfect for the role. Now, they are all of my today's pointers for now. But I do want to remind you that it often isn't a reflection on your performance. It can sometimes just be those small, minor little details of why you didn't get the role. And instead of taking it to heart, why not turn it around and put it into a positive of how can I do better for the next one and how can I find the right role for me that I fit perfectly. It's my, my role. I can do that role. I'm saying role so many times. So you do need to remember that it isn't a reflection of your performance and it does just sometimes come down to what's on paper and what they specifically want. And there will be a right role for you. It's just until the right time comes up. And like they always say, it's all about patience, dedication, a little bit of luck, and just timing. And you'll be grateful that you didn't change that certain thing about yourself, because when that right role comes along, you were perfect for it. And what I always try to think about after any auditions, any self-tapes, is just forget about it. I know it can be hard, and often you just give yourself a little time to reflect on it and to think constructively of what I could have done better, what are my weaknesses and strengths, and move on from it and work towards the next thing. I think, like you already know, you always have to think about the future and what's next. Don't get me wrong, try and live in the present, but when it comes to auditions, you just can't dwell on it, especially in our industry. If you do dwell on these auditions, and especially if it's your dream role and you're heartbroken, I get it. It sucks. It really does suck when you get so many rejections, one after another after another. But it's all about just reminding yourself why you're doing this, and it's just not the right timing for you. That role is coming and it will come for you. So yeah, try not to overthink too much about your auditions and why you didn't get the role. It's the next one. Think of the future one. Yeah. And like I said, you've got this. You will get the roles. And you're perfect. You're great. And yeah, but I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. So make sure, as always, you like, subscribe, comment, blah blah blah, and have a good day, evening, wherever you are. Take care. Every little single thing that you've done, and there's a bug. I wanted to mix it up.
So today we'll talk about acting.
Careful, you're going to break the seat.
So acting is the art of impersonation. Yes.
I'm so going to leave that in. You're going to be my bloopers. The boys are ruining the shot.
Oh my god, it's like an obstacle course.
You can't destroy my set.
Why didn't you ever move this right back?
Because I don't ever intend you coming in for a pee. He's peeing. Pivot. 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 Thank you. And what I always think is the best thing if you are in... Bless you. What's the word? Ooh, what is the word?